Are you tired of starting things and then stopping? Do you have a problem with actually carrying something through all the way out until the end? Or do you have a problem? Have you ever asked yourself, listen, I wish I had a set, regimented way of doing things so that when I have something that's really important for me to do, I can actually do it, follow through to the end, and actually get it done? Are you like tired of getting things half done and then getting only half of the result? And then having to start over again and losing all that momentum that you had initially? Well, what if there was a way that you can actually get something started and finished? What if there was a way that you can actually get in the groove and get the momentum of doing things consistently and really feeling good about your life? Well, in today's video, that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to develop wealthy discipline, the things that wealthy people do, and quite frankly, some common denominators of the disciplines that we perform and why we are able to live the kind of life that we want to live. I want you to live the life you want to live. I want you to live the life that you actually desire to live. But you're going to have to be disciplined if you're going to do that. You're going to have to get some regimented ways of doing things. And you're going to have to deny yourself of some things and start doing some things that you have not been doing in the past. And today I'm going to show you how to be able to do that. If you're ready, put ready in the chat, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. So the first thing I want to discuss is why discipline pays. I think people, when they think about discipline, I think people think that they look at it and have a tendency to believe that discipline is some type of that boundaries are some type of slavery, or like it's going to be a begrudging thing, or like I can't be a disciplined person and have fun and enjoy my life. I just gotta let it all hang out. I believe that some people are under that illusion, but the fact of the matter is that discipline is the best freedom in the world, because discipline gives you the ability to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do, while other people live their whole life just wishing it. You'll be on vacation. Other people will be wishing they was on vacation. Why? Because they can't go on vacation. They can only take trips. You say, what do you mean, Brother Ricky? I mean, they tripping the whole time they gone because they ain't really got enough money to be going anywhere. They can't go where they really want to go, and they can't stay as long as they really want to stay. Why? Because they haven't been disciplined enough to create enough money to be able to go and do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. If you are that person today that's listening to me this morning, and you want to develop enough discipline so that you can leave the crib and go on vacations and not trips. You want to be able to go on vacations and not trips, then put me in a chat and I'll start talking to you. All right. So, I don't know what to say is stuck on me. Y'all just have to bear with it. Because I guess I'm stuck on me. So I put me in the chat if that's you. Do you want to leave? And when you go, it's not a trip, it's a vacation. Because going someplace and you worried about, listen, I'm going to teach you discipline today. I'm going to teach you. Let me look in the mirror so I can get this thing off of me. Hold on, because it's okay. I got it. All right. So I'm going to teach you discipline this morning. I'm going to teach you the kind of discipline that helped me go from being homeless to being able to take 20 of my kids and 10 kids or 10 grandkids to Hawaii for Christmas last year and for New Year's. That's the kind of discipline that I developed. So much so that I can pay for my whole family to go on a vacation, and we could stay as long as we wanted to. Only reason we came back because we just tired of being in Hawaii. Now, who wants to leave your vacation when you're tired? I mean, you know what? I'm just tired of looking at all these waves and stuff. That's enough of this surfing, okay? I've seen the Polynesian Culture Center too many times. Now I'm bored. I don't even want to go back to Hawaii this year. Why? Because we've been 2 years in a row. It looked like you've seen everything. I'm sure I haven't seen everything, but I'm like, what the heck? We're fine. We'll do something else this year when they come around Christmas time. You say, why is that? Because I've developed a lot of discipline. But the reason that I have this discipline is because I look at what discipline pays. Okay, so let's look at it this way. If you look at what it is that you want, that's why it's very important for you to want something, because when you look at what you want and you see what it is that you want, you say, okay, so what activity do I have to get involved in to make this thing come to pass? And then you start thinking about, because as soon as you say you want something as soon as you set your sights on doing something, you're going to always be disrupted 100% of the times, because whenever you intend to do something, you are absolutely positively going to be disrupted. The beautiful thing about discipline is that, and this is the first thing I want you to write down, is that your behavior always defaults to your discipline. All right. So D to D, a DTD is the first formula that I want you to write down. DTD. All right. No matter when you get disrupted, you default disruptions, default to discipline. All right. So D to D. So you're going to be disrupted. All right. You're not, you, there is no smooth sailing in life. That's not how it goes. All right. You're not going to just set your sights on something and everybody and everything just move out your way. Just be like, yeah, God bless you. Go ahead on and do that wonderful act that you're looking forward to. Carry out that wonderful art that you're looking forward to carrying out. Go ahead and do that beautiful thing that you have in mind. That's not life. We all know better than that, right? So as soon as we get ready to do something, typically all hell will break loose. All right. All kinds of disruptions take place, just typically. All right. But you're going to default to your discipline. So if you're not even disciplined enough to put it in the chat, I'm through teaching this morning. All right. So put D, T, D in the chat, at least 10 of you, and I continue teaching you what I'm talking about. All right. Now, this might not be the kind of, this might not be no filet mignon message today. But if you take heed to these things I'm teaching you today, you can become a very wealthy person and you'll blow most of your competition clear out the water because most people are not going to do the things that I'm talking about today. See, the beautiful thing about success, the beautiful thing about is that you really don't have any competitors when you reach a certain level of discipline because 95% of the population is not going to do what I'm teaching y'all today. So if you start doing it, then you're not going to have much competition, even though competition shouldn't be a reason for doing anything. You should be doing stuff just because you want to do it. You should want to have something simply because you want to have it. You should be ambitious just simply because it's a blessing to be able to get up in the morning and go do something worthwhile. So it's not like we have to explain to somebody why we want something or why we're ambitious or why we want to get ahead or why we want to feed our family or why we want to build up the community or why we want to do anything that's worth doing. We shouldn't have to explain that to anybody because we don't need anybody's validation. And the discipline that you have is why it's going to happen, or the lack of discipline that you don't have, or the lack of discipline that you've been performing is going to be why it's not going to happen. So the beautiful thing about disruptions is that you always default to your discipline. Let me give you an example of what I mean. You know the book of in Genesis where you have Joseph, and Joseph tells his brothers about a dream that he has. So they like, that ain't gonna never happen. You talking about we gonna bow down to you? He's like, yeah, that's my vision. All right. They like, yeah, right. They say, let's see how we bow down to you while you in a pit. It's gonna be pretty hard for us to bow down to you while you in a pit, while you in a local Canaan jail. Canaan, we're gonna throw you in the jail in Canaan land. So they locked their little brother up and sold him. And so that disrupted what he was looking at in front of him for a little bit. But when he got to Potiphar's house, where he got sold into slavery, when he got to Potiphar's house, he started practicing his discipline. His discipline was that he was a forecaster, an economic forecaster. He could tell you the economy before it happened. Why? Because he's a visionary. Are you listening to me? So when you are a visionary and you start telling people about what you see, people cannot see what it is that you see, are intimidated by the fact that you can see something, and they are absolutely positively going to try to disrupt what it is that you're doing. But today I'm talking about how to develop wealthy discipline. And the thing about it is that if you are really good at what you're doing, then it doesn't matter about the disruption because the disruption only drives you right back to what it is that you're good at. Are y'all getting what I'm saying? The disruption is a driver, not a distractor. The only reason people get distracted is because they're not good at what they're doing. So when somebody comes in and disrupts you, it becomes a distraction because you're not good at what you're doing. But when you're disciplined about what you're doing, you're a master at what it is that you're doing. When people come into your life and try to disrupt what you're doing, it just drives what? It drives your mastery. That's why it's very important that you become disciplined enough to master something, because nobody can knock you off your square when you are really good at something. Because when you get up under stress, when people coming at you, situations are coming at you, you default to the thing that you're good at. Are you listening to me? That's why the reason that people smoke crack when somebody get upset with them, when or when something disrupts them, is because that's what they're good at. The reason people, kick it with two or three or four different relationships when they get nervous up under pressure is because that's what they're good at. The reason that person go around pimp slapping folks when people get on their nerves is because that's what they're good at. In other words, that's their discipline. So it doesn't matter what your discipline is, whether it's good or bad, it's what you're going to default to. That's why you ought to do what? Practice the disciplines of to get the results that you really desire in your life, because everything that we do is a solution to our problems. Crack is a solution to a problem. Cocaine is a solution to a problem. Smoking weed is a solution to a problem. Illicit relationships, those are all solutions to problems. Stealing is a solution to a problem. Lying is a solution to a problem. They're not good solutions. They bad solutions. But if it's the discipline that you've been practicing, then when you get up under some pressure, you automatically default to that discipline. Did y'all get that? Put "got it" in the chat so I can finish teaching you this next idea. I just want you to understand why we do the things that we do consistently, why we do it. We do it because we're good at it, because that's what we put our time into. So if I'm good at something and you put some pressure on me, I'm going to do what I'm good at. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So put "got it" in the chat. I'm trying to help break you up out of some behaviors so that you can become a very successful, wealthy individual. And you have all of the potential to be able to do so, but you're going to have to start becoming good at something that's worthwhile instead of being good at things that don't move the needle, or even things that's trying to kill you. Some people are very disciplined in things that if you keep doing it, you're going to die early. Some people are very disciplined at things that if you keep doing it, you're going to guarantee your poverty and curse your family. We all discipline in something. Are you hear what I'm saying? We all spend a lot of time on something. We all put a lot of energy and effort into something. We all do. Why? Because we just born to be creative. So we don't really have a choice about that, but we do have a choice about the discipline that we decide. Okay. All right. So we need to make discipline decisions. All right. Everybody put that in the chat and I'll teach you the next thing. You need to write that all the way out. Okay. We need to make, because we all disciplined, but we need to make discipline, not disciplined, discipline decisions. In other words, what am I going to make a decision on? I'm going to really pour my time into. All right. All right. Y'all need to write that out. And at least 10 of y'all write that out and I'll teach you the next point. All right. You're going to make a lot of money after today if you decide you want to take heed to what I'm teaching. You can make a lot of money after today if you want to take, because this will help set you free, because you are a very disciplined person. The question is, discipline in what? Oh, yes, it is. You are a very habitual person. I am too. The question is, habitual in what? You do something really, really good. All right. Ain't no doubt about that. The question is, you really, really good at what? And so the question becomes, is this thing that I'm really good at, is it serving me? Is it serving my family? Is God down with it? See, these are questions we have to ask ourselves. So why should I keep practicing that discipline if it ain't serving God, it ain't serving me, ain't serving my family? Why should I be practicing that discipline? That's not a good discipline. So let me get discipline in another area, and so that I can get the results that I'm actually after. So the first point that I was making was that you look at, in order to become disciplined at the thing that produces the result that we actually want, is we need to be looking at the result first and then starting the behavior based on the result. Are you digging what I'm saying? For example, one of my results that I want is, I want to be able to get around. I want to be able to go see my daughter, Shantice, as often as I want to, because she in and out the hospital, dealing with all these different things. Right now, trying to get a strength level up. I'm thinking about just riding down to go see her today. So that means that I need to make enough money so that whenever I want to leave, I can just get up and go without having to ask anybody, without having to be get anybody's permission or anything. And I don't have to sit here and contemplate, can I go see her today? Or do I have to just send her a note? No, I have the option of being able to go see her if I want to, or talking to her on the phone if I want to, or whatever it is that I want to do. I have that option. I'm not bound like that. Don't y'all want to go see your loved ones when you get ready? I said, don't you? Put "I do" in the chat if that's you. All right. Say "I do," just like you're trying to get married. If that's you, I just want to know who I'm talking to today. Is that you? Do you just want to get up and you want to go, your loved one's in trouble or something? Or something ain't going down? Don't you just want to leave when you get ready? I mean, don't you wish you had that type of freedom so that you ain't just got to sit up and be trying to contemplate what Don't you at least want that to be an option? You know, maybe you might not go, but at least don't you want that to be the option? Okay, I know I do, and I feel you. I 100% feel you. When I used to take my mother out every 2 weeks, you know, before my mother passed away. Ooh, we, she was a superstar. I used to go get her every 2 weeks, and she said, "Ricky," she says, "two things about you I really appreciate." I say, "What's that, baby?" She said, "Number one, the way you talk to me, because you know how to talk to me, because my mama would say some stuff. You know how our mamas are. You know how they are. Even though we grown men and women, they still be saying some stuff they ought not say. You know, not necessarily to you. Sometimes it's just about other people and stuff. Because our mamas can be whippersnappers, you know, but they earn that right. So, so I said, "Well, baby, you know, you're my mother. So if you say something I don't like, I'm going to address it, but I'm addressing it in a kind of way where you still got some dignity, because you my mother. I'm not your father. So I'm not going to ever talk to you like I'm your elder, because you my elder. It don't make no difference how old I get either. I don't care if I live to be 95. Even I ain't gonna never be nothing. I ain't gonna never be more than your son. So if I don't agree with what you said, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about what you said, but in a kind of way where I'm not trying to make you do what I told you to do, because you're my mother. I'm not yours. So that way she can say something, might reprove it, and then I say, "Now let's go eat, baby," even though the matter wasn't resolved. See, when you're talking to your elder, they don't have to agree with you. You don't decide you're gonna treat your elder right based on agreement. You treat your elder right based on the fact that they're your elder, so that your days will be long upon the earth, which the Lord your God have promised unto you, before your days get cut off, before you get sick, end up in a hospital with one eye and one leg, and they calling you Eileen up in this piece. So remember that. Remember that. I don't care. Your mama is always your mama. Your daddy is always your daddy. I don't care how old you get. And if you're gonna call yourself, gonna reprove them and tell them about something, you make sure you do it. You make sure that whatever you say, that you say it in any kind of way where you still remember that's your mom and that's your father. You ain't never got no right to talk to them in a condescending kind of way, even if you write about what you're talking about, because whether you write is not what's important. The way you talk is what's important. So she said, I said, "Well, you mama, you know, it is what it is, baby. You the queen. It is what it is." You know, she said, "The second thing I like about you is that you ain't never in a hurry." I said, "Well, baby, I don't have a job. All right. I don't have a job. Nobody has to tell me what time to get up, because I wasn't telling her that. I'm just telling y'all that. I would say, "Mom, I don't have a job." So when I would get her every 2 weeks, it was whatever she wanted to do all weekend, whatever she wanted to do. If you want to go to church, let's go. I didn't try to make her go to church. She wanted to go most of the time anyway. But if she didn't feel like it, I didn't make her, you know, start telling her, "Girl, you know, forsaking the assembling of yourselves together." Like, I didn't do that stuff with her. I was like, "No, if you want to go, you want to go." She 89 years old, 80, from 85 to like 89, the last 4 or 5 years of her life. We went out just about every 2 weeks, pretty much every 2 weeks for the whole 5 years. So it was because I started making money. And because I was making money, I had freedom. And because I had freedom, I could see, like, we could spend quality time together. So to this day, when I wake up and I feel a little bit of depression because I can't see mama, I don't wake up with the kind of depression of a person who abandoned their mother. That's why we got to be disciplined, so we won't be abandoning our parents and abandoning our kids, and only can see people here and there, and all that stuff is a joke. That's not, this life is going to be over with. It's going to be over with. It's going to be over with before we can blink an eye. Are you hearing me? So whatever we're going to do, we better get to doing it. So we better develop some habits right now, so that we can make some money, so that we can have enough money to be able to move around when we get ready to go, how we get ready to go. And then that'll change what we do at our time, because we like, if I do this right here, I'm not going to get that right there. It's not going to add up. So the first thing about discipline is look at what it is, the result that it is that you want, and then it'll change the activity that you're getting ready to do. All right. For example, if you got to be really good at, let's say, writing a book, okay, and you say, "Okay, I need to get this book done within the next 30 days, which is the best way to eliminate all of the stress of writing a book. Give yourself a real hard deadline." You say, "Brother Ricky, I don't get it. Wait a minute now. Oh, I don't get it." "I thought you were talking about you stressing me out now. You're stressing me out. You're talking about give yourself a hard deadline." "Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm writing a book every 2 months." So that's a hard deadline. So what does that do? It removes all the things that I would be doing, so that I have to put the time in to do the book. And then it takes the stress off of me for doing a whole bunch of things that I need to be doing anyway. Why? Because I have this goal that has to be accomplished. And what it does is it gives you laser beam focus, and it gives you laser beam clarity, and it reduces stress, because having something to look forward to and a deadline to do it, it doesn't increase stress. It reduces stress. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's stress reduction. So if you want some stress reduction in your life, put SR in a chat. Aren't you tired of being stressed out? Ain't you tired of starting something and stopping it? Come on now. Don't you want to start becoming operating in excellence? Hey, don't you want some consistency in your life? All right. Well, if you want to reduce some stress, stress reduction, give yourself a deadline. All right. All right. When 10 of y'all put it in the chat, all right. I'm going to speak into your life. I speak stress reduction into your life. Who else is that? Uh, Mamie, I speak stress reduction into your life. Sweet Pea, I speak stress reduction into your life. Anybody else need some stress out of their life? Mary, I speak stress reduction into your life. Elena, stress reduction into your life. Millie, stress reduction into your life. Ethelyn, stress reduction into your life. Brother Mike, stress reduction into your life. Uh, who else is that? Keith, stress reduction into your life. Brother Sheldon, stress reduction into your life. I speak stress reduction into your life. Now, I'm speaking it into your life, but this is what you have to do. Set some deadlines. The deadline is not going to make you stressed out. The deadline is going to give you some focus. The reason that we're stressed is because we're trying to do this thing and that thing at the same time. That creates a tremendous amount of unnecessary stress, because we've given ourselves too many options. When you have a deadline, you reduce the options. When you reduce the options, you reduce the stress, right? So option reduction, or OR, equals stress reduction. Put that formula in the chat. Teach this to your children, okay? Option reduction, okay? OR equals stress reduction, SR. OR equals SR. All right, 10 of you all put that in the chat, and I'll teach you the next point, okay? OR, option reduction, equals stress reduction. OR equals SR. All right. Come on, put this. I'm teaching you all formulas because you can teach these formulas to your children. All right. I'm helping you all, because when your kids go to school, they're not being taught. You have to teach your kids. Okay. When they come home, they all stressed out and they all undisciplined and can't get their goals. This is your job. All right. You got to train up a child in the way the child should go. And when they're old, they won't depart from it. This is your job. Okay. Don't put this, you say, no, it's the school's job. The schools are failing miserably with that. You can feed your kids to the wolves if you want to, or you're gonna have to teach them some discipline. All right. And they'll take a different look at things if you let them know that this is the time frame that you have to do this. And they say, why are you putting all that? You say, no, ain't no stress on you. Okay. Because it's the same way I get down. I do things with a time limit, and it ain't going to increase your stress, honey. It's going to reduce your stress. It'll stop y'all kids from jumping out of windows when they're teenagers and stuff. Hey, listen to me. We got a whole bunch of stressed out people walking around here. But the reason people are stressed out is because they're undisciplined. Okay. A lack of discipline, it creates an amazing amount of stress. So much so until you become suicidal and all kind of foolishness. Why? Because you ain't got no game plan. Are you hearing me? So that's the first point. And that's to look at what it is that you want. And then because you see what it is that you want, now you start wanting to do what it is that you got to do to get what you want. Are you listening to me? Because we only do what we want to do. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Nobody does what they don't want to do. You said, I do a whole lot of things I don't want to do right now, Brother Ricky. I got a job I go to. I don't even want to be there. I'm like, yes, you do. Well, yes, you do. Why? Because you want to eat. Okay. Did you hear what I said? You said, Brother Ricky, I don't like my job at all. That may be true. Okay. Maybe and may not. You may like your job. But I'm telling you that you don't go to your job because you need to. You go to your job because you want to. You say, no, 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 no. I'm just going because I need to go. I'm not going because I want to go. No, I'm gonna have to help you to reverse that untruth that you just got through thinking in your head. Oh, you want to go. Why? Because you want to eat. Are you hearing me? People say, hey man, people buy toilet paper because they need to. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. People buy toilet paper because they want to. All right. You say, what? Yeah. Who in their right mind don't want to go to the bathroom with some toilet paper? Ain't nobody got to convince you to get no toilet paper. Why? You want to do that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Now, sometimes what you want to do is what you need to do too. But you're going to always do what you want to do. That's why you should create your own wants. All right. So everybody put WC in the chat because this is a very important part of discipline is want creating. Why don't you create what you want? All right. Because if you don't, everybody else is going to do it. Are you listening to me? I'm talking to you today about how how do we think, the way that we think, the way that wealthy people behave. The only difference between one person having some money and another person is the behavior, the thought, the mindset. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I'm a man that didn't come from no money. Are you hearing me? I just don't think like most of the people around me. Because I'm like, I don't like the way they think. All right. They don't want nothing. Okay. They don't want, if I ask the average person what they want, and you just start doing that just today, just ask 5 people today. Hey, you know what? What do you want? You know, what's the number one thing you want to see happen for the rest of this year? Ask yourself that. You know, what do I really want this year? You know, I mean, where do I really want to go? I mean, where do I really want to live? You know, what kind of car do I really even want to drive? Okay. What kind of ministry do I even want to be leading? Okay. What type of business do I even want to be assessing? Okay. What type of clients do I even want? All right. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You have to have some want creation to be a disciplined person because what you got to want something. And when you want something, it drives you. Okay. So the want is the vehicle. And when you really want something, it'll drive you through storms, hurricanes, blizzards, tsunamis. Why? Because you're looking at what you want. And you're like, man, it's full steam ahead. So what these disruptions don't mean nothing. Why? Because I didn't start this thing. So I didn't start this thing for the disruption. So when the disruption comes, it's like it don't even exist because it's not involved in what I want. Are y'all getting some freedom? If you get some freedom, put freedom in the chat. I want to know if somebody getting set free this morning. I just need to know because this is my off day. But I felt so inspired to talk to y'all when I got up this morning. I said, I'm not going to do nothing else until I talk to y'all. All right. So is anybody getting some freedom? All right. Because I really feel like we need to be free today. I feel like we need to be free to want something. And then I feel like we need to be free to have the discipline to pursue what we want. I just think we need to put this into the atmosphere today because I'm afraid we're around too many people who don't want nothing, and they make you feel guilty when you want something, and that bothers. I don't like that. I don't like. I believe every man and woman has the right to want something and the right to pursue something with excellence and to pursue it vehemently and not to be distracted. I believe that we all have that right. If y'all believe that, put freedom in the chat. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe it with all my heart, and I believe you do too. And let's spread this idea around the globe. Hey, you that discipline is freedom. All right. Freedom don't mean just let it all hang out. And freedom doesn't mean that I can pimp slap you and just say, hey, you know what? I just slapped you because I wanted to. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the freedom of being able to serve each other. Are you hear what I'm saying? Because real freedom is only in service anyway. The freedom to be able to make each other's life better. Are you thinking what I'm talking about? To be able to do it at a really high level too. So that what? So that you ain't all bound all day and all night up under the slavery of somebody else because you self-discipline. Are you digging what I'm talking about? Self-discipline creates what? Self-esteem. Self-esteem creates what? Self-worth. Self-worth creates what? A high net worth. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? So they all connected with each other. And today I'm just teaching you about this idea. Only one idea today, and that's the idea of how do you develop wealth discipline. All right. So the first thing that we have to do, in my opinion, this is what I do, is that I look at what I want. I set deadlines on getting it. And then I get laser beam focused on it because now I'm not fighting competition. I'm not fighting people. Only thing that I'm fighting is this deadline. And this deadline is in front of me. And I'm determined to get this thing done before this deadline is over with. So it reduces all my stress because everything else got to go. So I just take everything else up off the plate until this thing is done. All right. I got 30 more days to finish writing my newest book. It's called Humble Aggression. That's my newest book. I have 30 days to get it done. Okay. If the Lord let me live 30 days, it will be done. All right. All right. It shall be done. This is the way you have to discipline yourself. When you just the only, and I'm not going to try to do it, okay? Because what discipline, the word try is not in discipline. All right. When you discipline about something, it's just this is what I'm going to do. And the only thing that can stop me from doing it is that God don't let this guy die, to get sick or something unforeseen. But barring any of those things, it's happened. So in the next 30 days, you'll see a new book out with Brother Ricky called Humble Aggression. Okay. And you'll learn all about the book if you decide you want to get it. So do you see the freedom in that? Ain't that freedom? Everybody put TF in the chat. Ain't that freedom? I said, ain't that, because I'm trying to help y'all. I want y'all to be free. Are you listening to me? Just put TF in the chat. All right, come on, let's go. TF, and ain't that freedom? It's just said. That's it. Ain't no 3 ways, 4 ways, 7 ways, 9 ways about it. Because some of you all should have written at least 10 books by now. Some of you all are amazingly good writers. Are you hearing me? You're just not disciplined. You just start and then you stop, and you start and then you stop, and you start and then you need some discipline anointing on you. And that's what I'm giving you today. I'm just passing some discipline anointing on you to show you how I came from having no money at all to being a very wealthy person who could do anything I want to do anytime I get ready. It requires discipline. Nobody's giving you nothing. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So set that goal in front of your face, set a deadline to it, and watch what takes place. Okay. And watch how the stress is reduced. Okay. And then and the next thing about discipline is that, or at least we talked about the idea of making sure that you look at the result, because the result has to stay plastered in your brain. Okay. So for example, a book, just think about your book. Let's say that you was writing a book called 6 Ways to Be Able to Develop Self-Esteem. Say that was your book. And you're saying in your head, man, I got to write this book, 6 Ways to Develop Self-Esteem. I got to get this book out. And you're saying to yourself, the reason I'm writing this book is because I'm seeing people committing suicide. I believe if they read this book, they'll stop. I'm seeing people breaking up in their marriages. I think if I wrote this book, they'll stop. I'm seeing families falling apart and being crippled financially. I believe if I wrote this book, that would stop. So you start seeing the result in your head of all the people that you're helping. And then it drives you, it fuels you to have the discipline to continue to do the thing that you had not had the discipline before. So the beautiful thing about results is that you see the result in your head, and then the result takes place in real time where everybody else can see it because it really already happened. All right. So write your book, write your play, write your song, because it already happened. What already happened? The result of the thing that you wrote it for. Why? Because God already did it. See, once you learn this, it'll change how you'll get the energy to get up and get ready to do what it is that you're getting ready to do, because you're like, man, my book is out. Listen, okay, can I help? Can I help y'all? I used to do webinars with my daughter, Ebony. Okay. And to teach people about this common law when I first started in 2021. Okay. Now, nobody's in the webinars because nobody know what I'm doing. I got no sense to know. Ain't nobody coming at when I first start, because don't nobody know nothing. Nobody hardly know nothing about common law around the whole United States. Okay. And so the things I've learned, I'm like, man, this is spectacular information. All right. But I see so many people getting help. So I'm gonna go ahead on and write this book, Control Everything on Nothing. I'm writing a book, and I'm looking at all the people who are gonna start controlling their assets instead of owning their assets. I'm looking at all the people who are gonna start passing their money on to their family members without the IRS taking their money, without probate court and being involved in their stuff. And I saw all this stuff in my head. So it drove me to write. And then I gave myself a deadline. So between those two things, it was a done deal. All right. Are y'all ready for some done deals? All right. Look at what it is that you're doing right now. Okay. What it is that you got in your head right now, and put done deal in a check, and watch what start happening. All right. Come on. Whatever you got in your head right now, look at what you got in your head right now. Okay. Look at what you got in your head, and then put done deal in a check so that you can speak over your own life. All right. And I'm gonna wait for y'all to get 10 of y'all deals done. I'll finish teaching you. Okay, let's go. All right. All right. Diamond, it's a done deal. All right, let's go. Joseph, it's a done deal. Lamont, it's a done deal. Sasa, it's a done deal. All right. Cocaine, it's a done deal. All right. Uh, Nine of the gold God, it's a done deal. Okay, let's go. Shalom, it's a done deal. Evelyn, it's a done deal. Ken, it's a done deal. All right. Johanna, it's a done deal. All right. Steve, it's a done deal. Okay, it's a done deal. All right. It's a done deal. All right. It's a done deal. True. It's a done deal. Okay. So it's a done deal because you said it's a done deal. All right. I don't care what nobody else say to you. It don't matter. All right. Why? Because the only opinion that matters is yours. You see the freedom in that? You see how ain't nobody in your Kool-Aid right now don't know the flavor? You see how can't nobody stop that from happening? That's what freedom is. That's the freedom of discipline. The freedom of discipline is that ain't nobody else invited to this discipline party but you. Everybody else is uninvited. When you get ready to write that book, ain't nobody in the room but you. Okay? When you get ready to do that activity, ain't nobody in the room but you. Ain't nobody stop you from doing nothing. Why? Because you just evicted everybody else. Are you hearing me? Discipline is an amazing evictor of all distractions. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Distraction, evictions. All right. So put DE in the chat because for your next thing to take place, you're gonna have to evict your distractions. So put distraction, evictions. All right, because it's a done deal. Okay. So everything that's coming to distract you is evicted because you're the one that's got control. You are the landlord of your brain. All right. So everything that want to come into your brain that's trying to distract you from that done deal, you got to evict it. Okay. That's what discipline does. Discipline evicts distractions. So DE. All right. DE. That's right. That's right. That's why it's a done deal. Okay. So start proceeding right now like it's already done. Okay. And then just start writing out the pages of your already done book. Just start writing out the lyrics to your already done song. Just start writing out the script of your already done movie. Okay. So start writing whatever it is that you're doing, it's already done. All right. So you just start doing the already done. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Why? And the results are already done too. So the only reason people don't get the result is because they don't have the discipline to carry out the already done. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Once you get the discipline, evict the distractions, the results have already, you have helped. Listen to me. You have helped so many people already. God has already done it. All you got to do is just put in the work to get the results that are already done because God already, it's whatever he told you to do, it's already a noble thing that you're doing. It ain't like you're trying to, you're selling crack. All right. So the idea that you got is noble. So go hard and set deadlines and evict everything in your head and people around you if they want to distract you. Okay. I was on a plane. Shantae and I was flying. I don't know where we were last week. So I was writing my book because I write a lot on the plane. Plane is it's a beautiful place to write books. Okay. Just, I don't know what it is. Just being on the plane, my mind it's so fertile. And so I was writing a book and Shantae sitting next to me and good morning, Melissa. How you doing, dear? So Shantae was sitting next to me. So she was just conversating, she was just talking. So I was writing a book though, and I was trying to be nice. I was like, yeah, baby, yeah. But she was distracting me. So I was like, yeah, baby, yeah. Yeah, baby. I said, yeah, baby. Yeah. I said, sweetie, I really love you. You know that, right? She's like, uh-huh. I said, but I'm writing a book right now. So I'm gonna have to, stop this conversation. Hey, be nice, all right? Everybody put be nice in the chat. Come on, come on, come on. When people start interrupting you, be nice, all right? Don't let them interrupt you, but be nice, okay? Right? Come on, put it in the chat because I'm helping y'all today because you can't start being no evil butthole because you're getting discipline, all right? Part of discipline is the fact that you still got to be a kind person, okay? Part of discipline is that you still got to treat the people around you. You got to be nice to the people, but you got to let the person know that, listen, this is what I'm doing, all right? And I'm doing this right now, and I'm going to do this. This is going to get done. Matter of fact, this thing is already done. I'm just working on the already done. So I really love you. Pickle some sugar. God bless you. Now, move up a little bit. So be nice. All right. All right. So he says, so how do you develop this? He says, so how do you develop this discipline? That's the last thing I want to teach you. Okay. So this discipline is developed through repetition, because this is a unconscious thing that I'm talking about. Mastery is unconscious. Okay. So you're not going to develop this type of discipline. This is the wealthy. This is the discipline of the wealthy. Okay. So mastery is not mastery. Wealthy mastery is only developed through leverage. In other words, you can't be doing somebody else's work to develop this type of discipline. Okay. This type of discipline I'm talking about today that the wealthy have, why we have money and other people don't have, is because we have the discipline to not do things. Okay. You say, what do you mean by that? Okay. Can I give y'all some examples? Y'all want some examples? Y'all want some examples? Put examples in the chat and I'll show y'all some examples. I'll give y'all 2 or 3 examples and then I got to go. Okay. This is a different kind of discipline I'm teaching you all today. All right. This is how you really, really, really make money. All right. This has to take place or you're not going to make large amounts of money. All right. I just want to help you. Okay. It's not the way we've been taught. Okay. This is different. Y'all want some examples? I'm going to show you some examples. Yeah. At least 10 of y'all want it. Okay. I'm going to show you. Who wants some examples? Stas, I'm going to give you an example. New Life, I'm going to give you an example because you asked. Lamont, I'm going to give you an example. All right. Leather Flower Designs, I'm going to give you an example too. All right. Major Real Fan, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. All right. Let's go. Who else wants an example? All right. UnMovable, I'm going to give you an example. All right. Let's go. Hope, Poppy Steve, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. Cool. All right. Evelyn. All right. Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair enough. So, you all are looking um, at on social media right now. Okay. So you all, if I ask you to do, if you want like to buy a book or do anything, anything that we do, and you want to learn more about it, and I tell you, like, put a comment in the comment section, then it automatically comes to you. Okay. Now, I I have to be disciplined enough to allow the people that work with me to send everything to you. What I would really like to do is I would really like to answer every single request that a person has because I just really love people. All right. I don't have I didn't have to start no business to try to fake like I like people to try to get no money because I was helping a whole bunch of people and will help a whole lot of people to the day I drop dead that ain't got nothing to do with money. So it's real important that be your disposition with people because then now you got to fake when you're trying to sell products and stuff and trying to act like you're really interested in somebody's life because people can tell. They can just tell. People can just feel that. You can just feel that. They're just trying to make some money. They ain't really interested in what's going on with me. Excuse me. So it's obvious to people. So it can work a little bit with a few people, but it's not going to work a lot. You're not going to have mass appeal, and you're not going to make a lot of money with that type of temperament. So, but I have to have the discipline to not answer all of you all's requests, but to allow people that work with me to help answer them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because discipline, this type of discipline, means that you have to be a master. So you can't be a master of nothing that you don't have enough repetitions with. So that means that the first thing that you got to master is you got to master delegation. You got to be disciplined enough to not do other people's work. That's a different kind of discipline because it's not the way we were taught. See, the school system taught us individuality, but this type of discipline is called an essentialist. All right. So you probably never heard that word. That's one reason I keep telling y'all to get the book 10x is easier than 2x by my friend Benjamin Hardy, because he's got a really good book. It's really good. I mean, I've been listening to it for like the 4th time, all over the world, just listening to this book, taking notes because it's such a good book. All right. It is really a good book. It's called 10x is easier than 2x. And it is a spectacular book. It'll really help set you free. I highly recommend it. 10x is easier than 2x by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, 2 business geniuses and 2 very wise thinking people. Okay. So an essentialist is somebody who only does what's essential. An individualist tries to do everything. That's a big problem. Why? Because that's a serious lack of discipline. You say, what do you mean, Brother Ricky? I'm a very disciplined person. Now, let me help you. Let me help you. Let me just ask you all this question. It's one of the reasons why you try to do everything and stop allowing other people to do things in your company, in your business, and in your life. Just answer this question. Be honest with me. Is it because you think like you feel like you're the only one that can do that the right way? All right. If that's you, put in the chat. All right, let's go. Let's see. I just want to see if it's at least 10 people, and that's what you're fighting right now. All right. Just be honest with me. Is that why you're doing everything right now? Because you really feel like it ain't gonna get done right if you don't do it? Is that if that's you, just put in the chat. I don't know how you spell but just put in the chat if that's you. Is that anybody? Anybody following it? Okay, anybody having that problem? Okay, we only got one person having that problem out of all of us. I don't know how y'all gonna win today if y'all ain't honest. I think I need a little bit more honestly here. Let me see who's honest around here. Let's go. Major Real. All right, let's go. B Harris. I hear you. All right, Pokey, Papa Steve. I hear you. Laura. I hear you. Jesse. I hear you. Kendra. I hear you. Anybody else want to be honest around here? Diamond Girl. I hear you. The Walker DJ. I hear you. Appreciate your honesty. Okay. Why? Because the discipline that I'm teaching you today is a higher level than that. See, that discipline there is why you're not seeing the growth that you can have. Okay. And this is a major mind shift that has to take place. Excuse me. It's a major mind shift that has to take place for you to make the kind of money that we make. See, I made as much as $1 million in a day, as much. And it really ain't that big a deal. Why? Because it was the cumulative effect of allowing everybody around me to do their part. So the part, making $1 million is not hard. What's hard is to stop trying to do everything. That's hard. You hear what I'm saying? It's hard. I'm just telling you the truth. It's a hard thing to do, but it's worth it. All right. Do you believe it's worth it? Y'all tell me. Do you think it's worth it for you to stop doing the stuff that you're currently doing that you know somebody else should be doing, but you don't want to let it go? But do y'all even agree with that? Do you agree that do you know that for you to go to the next level, that's going to have to take place? Do you believe that, or do you think you're gonna get away with what you've been doing? Do you really think that you're going to keep doing other people's work and you're going to grow exponentially? Do you really think that? Well, I want to tell you that that's not going to happen. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me be the giver of good news. Let me give you some good news that you probably are resistant. Okay. That type of discipline, you're not going to get rich. It's impossible. It's impossible. In order for you, you're going to have the discipline of humility to get rich, to get wealthy. Because let me tell you something. What you are only really good at 2 or 3 things. I'm talking about spectacular, because the way God made us is to have interaction. That's just the way he made us. And the only way we can have some interaction is we have to have some deficiencies. Why? Because if we didn't have deficiencies, then we wouldn't have no need for one another. Let me ask you this question. The Bible talks about it this way. It says, does the eye say to the nose, I'm not part of the body because I'm the eye? Or do the feet say to the hands, I'm not part of the body because I'm not the feet? Do the shoulder say to the wrist, I'm not part of the body because I'm the shoulder? Let's put it to you this way. If you was on the 95th floor of a burning building right now, and your eyes saw that smoke, all right, and your nose smelled that smoke, okay, and then your brain told your feet don't fail me now, ow, and your feet told your knees, you cooperate with me, and let's get down these stairs before we get burned to a crisp. Let me ask you a question. Would any of your body parts be arguing with one another, or would they all 100% cooperate? But if they're going to 100% cooperate, put 100% in the chat. All right. I'm saying you're on the top of a burning building, and your eyes, your nose, your feet, your brain, everything starts working together. Is anybody arguing? Or are you getting down them stairs as fast as possible to save your life? If it's 100%, put 100% in the chat. Put 100 in the chat. I say put 100 in. I said put 100 in the chat. Put 100 in the chat. Ain't nobody arguing. Ain't nobody arguing. You're 100% down them stairs. Ain't nobody why? Because it's about survival, baby. Are you hearing me? Listen to me. Hear me good. I'm calling you into millionaire status. I command you up under the power and authority of Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, to cut that stuff out and to embrace the millionaire and the wealth person inside of you and get the freedom that you deserve, the freedom that God expects you to have. You know how it's going to come? Because you're going to start cooperating with who? With yourself. Are you listening to me? When you have other people to do the work that you're not supposed to be doing, you are cooperating with you. Why? Because now you can master what you're supposed to be doing. Because you can't master it while you're doing other people's work. Are you listening to me? You very good. You are sensational in a few things. Be sensational. All right. Come on now. Everybody put BS in the chat. Get your mind back right. BS in the chat. That means be sensational. Okay. All right. Oh, come on. Everybody put BS in the chat. I'm coming down the home stretch. I'm gonna be like Pharaoh, let God's people go. All right. So yeah. Come on. Come on, put BS in the chat. Let's go. Be sensational. Come on. See, if you be sensational, you'll stop BSing yourself around. All right. That's the kind of BS you want in your life. All right. That's the kind of BS. Why? Because you're doing everybody else's work. That's some BS, but not the kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know you got it right. The good. You want the GBS, the good BS. All right. Did y'all get that? GBS, the good BS. Come on, let's go. I know y'all get some help today. Be sensational. What? Don't just be okay. Don't just be all right. Don't just be pretty good. Be marvelous. Are you hearing me? And as I finish today, as you all going with these businesses that you have and the different things that you're doing, you don't really need so much of a marketing budget. What you really want is a remarkable budget. You say, what do you mean by that, Brother Ricky? I mean, be remarkable. So that when people leave your presence, they say, wow. They say, goodness. They're like, man, I got some help. You're like, ooh, when can we tune in with you again? But if you're doing everybody's work, you can't be marvelous. You can't be sensational. Why? It's only so many hours in a day, and it's only so much bandwidth to be doing something. And you owe it to yourself, you owe it to God, and you owe it to the community to be good, really good at whatever it is that you're doing. And that's what I'm going to pray for you right now as we get up out of here. Lord, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for my sensational brothers and sisters. And I pray, Lord, for discipline in their lives. Lord, the discipline of seeing a thing in advance that they're looking for, staying focused on that thing, no matter what distractions, what disruptions come their way, so that they can default to that marvelous, incredible gift that they have. When they're up under pressure, they just do it better because it's the thing they know to do. And they can effortlessly do it. I speak the spirit of effortless excellence into the lives of all my brothers and sisters that are listening. And then, Lord, I pray, finally, Lord, help us to discipline ourselves, humble ourselves, to let other people in the game. Lord, help us to learn how to coach these other people so that they can do the things that we're not supposed to be doing. I speak massive wealth into the lives of your children. Lord, teach us to humble ourselves, to remember when we're on the 95th floor of a burning building, everybody got to work together. Lord, help us to understand that where our wealth is not in this individual behavior, but in the essential behavior of being really good at just a few things, and then allowing amazing brothers and sisters to come into our lives to be able to help them be really good at what they're really good at. And let us, Lord, work together as one body, fitly framed together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You all have a beautiful day. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege. I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember, that stellar is as stellar does. Have a wonderfully disciplined day. God bless you. God bless you. Have a great day.